Oh, hello, Vivek. It's the 20th of December. It means it's almost the shortest day. Though we still seem to be packing more than enough into each day, don't we? Just haven't got the daylight to go with it. It's less than a week to Christmas, and it just seems to be frenzied everywhere, doesn't it? Just everywhere, just people talking about buying stuff and what they're going to do and so on. So we thought we'd do it slightly differently this time. We've got a Christmas theme. And those of you who are viewers who are joining us, who've seen us before, might notice something slightly different in our banners in front with the Christmas decorations, which were very kindly designed for us. So thank you for that. So I think they look good. And you're sitting next to a Christmas tree, I see, as one sort of in the background, sort of flashing. So I wonder if you're going to wear a Santa hat today, but you decided not to. Maybe.
I can't find it. I don't know. Somewhere it's gone.
All right, I wonder about that too. But we're going to talk some serious stuff as well, aren't we? Because we're passionate about what we do. So we're not just here just to sort of make fun of stuff or whatever. Though we have fun as we do it too. Well, I do. I hope you do as well. So for viewers who are joining us, you probably know. Well, I'm Corinna Shepherd from Dancing Kites Creative Learning, and this is Vivek. I don't know how you is it. Do I say the whole name, Vivek Baindoor Rao, or you've now got it up in your banner? So how do you want to be named? Just you always say Vivek, but
yeah, Vivek is good enough for me.
Okay,
that's what my mum calls me.
And, okay, yeah, it's easier for us, isn't it? There many British people don't pronounce it right, do they? You're very tolerant, but. Because they say it as they see it written, but I try to say it as you say it. So
It's in a way it saddens me because the second part of my name actually means happiness.
Okay, lovely.
Can you see what I'm doing there?
I do. Yes.
Anand.
What's the first part? I mean,
Anand means happiness.
Nice.
And first part is Vivek, that means wisdom.
Lovely word. Yeah,
so it actually means happiness due to wisdom, or
I like that.
Yeah.
That's a topic for another vlog, I think. So that's great. Anyway, our contact details will be in the description below on the YouTube channel, so viewers want to catch up with us and see our website. So we're doing it slightly differently because this is the last one of the year. Because well, I'm certainly going to have a few days off. I don't know whether Vivek will, because he tends to live, breathe, and eat and sleep his work. But anyway, we're not doing one next week, and then this is the last one of this year. So what we're going to do is do our Just a Minute slot as ever, where we do an introduction about who we are and what we're passionate about, why we're doing what we're doing, and then we're going to do the year gone by. But don't worry, we're not going to go through 52 weeks. So sit here until next Christmas. Just a summary really of the main points, and then the road ahead, which is really about what we're doing into next year. So it might be immediate, it might be things longer term, and it won't cover everything, and stuff will evolve, but anyway, just to give people a bit of a flavour. And then the trick or treat, which well, it's a bit Christmassy and a bit inspiring this year, isn't it? But I think we'll keep viewers in suspense on that one, shall we? And so they'll have to watch to the end to find out what it's going to be. So anyway, without further ado, it's time for your Just a Minute, Vivek.
Namaste. My name is Vivek Baindoor. Full name is, of course, you can see it there, Vivekanand Baindoor Rao. But I prefer to be called Vivek because that is simple, easy to pronounce for most people, and that's good enough for me. So Vivek is my name, and Vivek Technology Integrators is my company. I believe in living a simple life. I believe in thinking differently. So I'm proud to be. I'm proud to share my beliefs with Steve Jobs and Leonardo da Vinci, who said, "Simplicity is the ultimate in sophistication." And it was Albert Einstein who also said, if you can't explain something in simple language, then you haven't really understood what you're trying to talk about.
Absolutely.
So, of course, he said that in more precise words and terms, but in essence, that's what he said.
Yes.
So technology changes, and we need to keep up with it. Social media changes. It used to be search engine optimization, and you used to be able to stuff keywords into your website and be done with search engine, which is no longer the case. Now you have to do is social media optimization. So when you want to do that, a lot of technology is involved, so don't get taken for a ride by the cowboys. Let the Indian handle the technology and you live a simple life. My contact details, as usual, will be in the YouTube description, and you can see there. That's my Google Plus ID, or you can search for my hashtag Integrate Simplify Life. That's my just a minute. Maybe I've gone over a minute, but I'm giving the box back to you, Corinna.
Can I have a different colour box? It's Christmas. Can I have a gold box or a red box? Or the red box sounds like the politicians, doesn't it? I saw one of those yesterday, but that's another story. Yes, I'm Corinna Shepherd, and I'm proudly talking about Dance with Kites Creative Learning, which I've created and developed over a few years, really. I recently changed my strapline, which will be reflected on my website in due course when my web programmer comes back off holiday. But my strapline now is unlocking your potential through creativity and interactive learning. So very similar to what it's been before, but it really does reflect how my brand is developing. And I've really come to learn the importance of creativity. And a lot of people in business say, well, they're not creative, they don't want to be creative, but maybe as children they were. And actually we all are creative. It's just, it doesn't mean we have to be good at drawing or singing or anything like that, but we might be. But the whole thing about creative thinking, creative learning, or maybe even having a hobby that's creative. And so I am a dyslexia specialist, and creativity is really important for people with dyslexia, so it helps them to work in a more right brain way, which is how they tend to think. And I found that by working with a range of people in business, and children as well, that bringing that creativity in, you know, whether it's in formal business training or more light-hearted training, or just a wider talking about life issues, you know, business issues and so on, the whole creativity is really important. And I'll be talking a bit more about that later on, about some recent developments on my road ahead. But I am passionate about this, and I've got lots of blog entries, and I've got testimonials on my website and a lot more information. My website, as I'm sure yours is, Vivek, as well, is work in progress. As your business evolves, you then need to reflect that in your website. So yeah, there's lots going on. It's not yet recorded, but lots is going on in the vlog as well, so people watching it will get a bit of a sense. And again, my contact details are below in the description, and Vivek's also kindly done me a nice banner with showing my Google Plus, so be happy to connect on Google Plus, which is helping with my SMO, thanks to Vivek. So that's all good stuff. Okay, so thank you. So we've just done our just a minute, or just a 5 minutes, however long it was. I was recording it. We could talk for hours about our stuff, I know, but we will keep it fairly brief, because I know people probably got to go off and wrap their presents or whatever it is, you know, or forget about Christmas, have a few glasses of mulled wine, whatever it is. So let's look at the year gone by then, Vivek. So what are you going to tell us about the year gone by?
Yeah, I'm going to run through a brief overview, if you like, of what I have been through during 2013. In January, I joined this networking group called as 4N. I met Corinna for the first time in January, I think. I gave my webinar with Sally Hindmarch in January, and I got my first client as a result of the webinar. So January was a good month in that sense. February, I continued attending foreign meetings. I continued my training with what's known as Sandler system. So that tells you how to sell. It's essentially a training program for salesmen. Every Wednesday, it used to be at a place in Slough, breakfast times. March, I signed you up, Corinna. I also signed up Caroline, and met Simon for the first time after you referred me to him.
I did.
And April, I signed up Simon, and I gave my first foresight at 4N Bracknell. May, I joined a group called as Entrepreneur Circle. That is Nigel Botterill's group. I joined it on a trial basis. That was in May. Yeah, and I formulated a training program with you, Corinna, in May.
Yes.
June, I gave a foresight in Thame, where you were leading the group.
Yes.
I also manned a exhibition stall for Foreign at Excel London for a couple of days. So where I met lots of people during the 2 days and tried to promote 4N and not much of self-promotion, but yeah, it did have a bit of. And in June, I interacted with the Bass for the first time. I also gave a foresight in Aylesbury 4N. Lots of things happened in June. July, I met Bijan Boromont for the first time. Had a hangout with Mike Gordon, who was looking for a few solutions of his own. And in August, we started this video blog. And I gave my last foresight at High Wycombe 4N. In between January and August, I also gave foresights at Windsor 4N, then Ascot 4N. So I think in all I had about 6 foresights. So and September we started, rather formalizing the, created a structure for our vlog.
Mm-hmm.
And I started getting into Hangouts actively with, as you call them, the good and the great.
The great and the good,
Google,
yes.
Google Plus. October, I started Google Analytics training. This is by Google Academy, and passed the fundamentals exam, and I passed it with the 99% marks.
Wow, that's good. You've kept that quiet. Well done, you. Pat yourself on the back. It's really good.
And yeah, I also got involved with the Google Plus group started by Martin Shervington, who is I should say, a celebrity on Google Plus.
Yes, yes.
Because Martin Shervington's website gets reviews from Google's VP's recommendation. So it's a great honor to be associated in some way with Martin. In November, I was part of this Movember movement. I also helped you, Corinna, with your authorship tags and so on. That was November. It went quite well, the month. December, I started with David F. Leopold interviewed me on using his under his series of Dreaming with Entrepreneurs. And then, this morning actually I had a hangout session with Baz. So he wants me to help him out with his Google Plus and all these circles and photos, profiles. So that has been the year gone by. So I didn't really time myself, but I'm giving the blue box back to you. How was your year?
Yes, I was just going back to your year. Sounds like there's lots of really good stuff happening, and I think we can always, probably everyone in networking, if they're honest, would say, we could do with more clients or whatever, or we'd like to be helping more people. But actually, a lot of this stuff with the learning and the personal development and the infrastructure is really good. And certainly, I've had a lot of that as well this year, as well as some new clients, some long-term clients, some short-term clients. I've done mine more by topic rather than month by month, so I haven't necessarily covered everything, but stuff that sort of seems important to me. I do a variety of training and coaching and tuition. I mean, I still run my centre, my Dancing Kites Creative Learning Centre, where I see some children and adults really helping their dyslexia. So I do assessments and help them with their reading and their spelling and handwriting, and that's really lovely to see the results and see how they progress with that. I've also got some coaching clients, and again I bring the creativity into it that I mentioned earlier. So I will start off with vision, I'm using vision boards to start off with people, and certainly mind mapping is a big part of what I do, and I mean, we've done that as well, haven't we, as part of our reciprocal arrangement, because it's just a way of getting people out of their heads a bit, because talk therapies are good up to a point, but actually doing this creative stuff just really unpacks things a lot more. It helps people to go a lot deeper. They give them the space. I hope I'm non-judgmental. I give them that space to sort of work things through, and really help. It's to help you find the answers. It's not for me to tell you what to do. So it's about what sort of sits well with you and what works. So that's really good. I've had some lovely people to work with. Some of them have been shorter term. Helped one or two. We've ended up with quite a lot of stuff about making stuff dyslexia friendly, which avoids breaking the law, and also actually just makes stuff more effective and is good business practice. I've also converted my books into e-books, so I've now got 6 e-books on my shop. So the cost of printing books has really gone up, which has put me in an unfortunate position at the moment that My Dog Nick is virtually sold out. Will the Wizard's second print run is sold out, and Through the Magic Window I've still got a few copies. But it's great to have sold out of my books, because we're looking at quite a lot of books I've sold really, but I'd love to have more. But I mean, the main way I've sold is through Amazon, and Amazon, great at publicity and marketing. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but they take 60% of the cover price. Now that's great when you're a customer, because you look at the knockdown deals, you think fantastic, I'll get this cheap, and isn't that wonderful? But the publisher, if someone, I've self-published, and the author they really are suffering. And you know, I've reached the point that I can't afford to have my books reprinted. And the brand very much started out as proper books. You can look and feel, sit down with mum or dad, you know, touch and feel, smell it, you know, whatever, scribble in it, drop it, screw it up, throw it in the bin, whatever you want to do with it. But it's that tactile sensation which is really important. So I am hoping longer term I'll be able to get back to that in some shape or form. But I also thought with the e-books, actually, you know, kids, whether you like it or not, they are on screens a lot of the time. I mean, mine work on iPads, you know, laptops and so on. And I get a lot of parents who come to me and they say they don't get to use their own iPad because their dyslexic child is on their iPad a lot. So dyslexic children clearly benefit from iPads and other tablets as well, just particularly talking about the iPad here. So I'm looking next year to get them Kindle compatible. And then, yes, I think that would hopefully work with Amazon, so I'll get Amazon's marketing, and I've got some reviews on there as well anyway, but and obviously get the marketing, because that is a big mountain to climb at the moment. So I've got my web shop, which is lovely, I've got all the products there, and I do stuff, but I need to be getting more help, and I've got somebody who's offered to help me with some of that next year, actually for free, which is great. So about digital marketing, so I'm going to have a conversation with him after Christmas, and that would be really good, because I've invested such a lot in my brand and in my website and my web shop. And linked to that is something I will mention a bit now, I haven't mentioned up to this point really, but I've got a new tab on my website called Marketplace. And what this is about is I'm looking for people who want to use their creativity to make money. Because a lot in our society and in the West, I mean, maybe different in India where you come from, Vivek, but you know, creativity is not really valued in the main. If you want to make money, well, don't waste your time being creative. Do the serious stuff, do your spreadsheets, do the analytical, do the bullet point, all that kind of stuff. And I'm not knocking that, because that's really good, really helpful. But it's you know, it's the whole breadth of creativity. And I know for myself, and another thing I've done this year is I've taken more time out for me. And I've taken more time out for my creativity, and it's been vital. And what it's done is it's actually given me more energy to put into my business. And I think taking more time out to be creative has meant that the quality of my work and what I've achieved has actually been far greater than if I just slogged on 24/7 or whatever. And I think people who are creative need to be creative. They need to express it. And if you don't, it's not an optional extra. It's again it's part of who you truly are, and expressing that. And so the idea with my web shop is I'm putting together this little package, and there's different levels to it. I won't give a lot of detail for now, but I've got a mind map up on my website. The one option is to rent out some web shop space. So just somebody who's got good quality products, handmade products, and as part of that I will do the stuff that we're doing here for their SMO. So you know, with you know, video blog, I'll offer one video blog, a blog entry. I'll talk about them in my networking and my online stuff, and I want to form an online community. So they've got a bit of an extra help, you know, to get their products to the market, or increase their share in the market. But also I very much want to offer them the coaching as well, because I think that would be the best way that I can help somebody. And using the materials, you mentioned Baz. I mean, Baz I've been working with, he's my coach, and I'm working with him so that I can use his materials with clients as well. And I've just found that it's really, so it's just changed things around for me, and that's what I'm doing for other people. So the way I could best help somebody in that situation would be for them to have the long-term program with the coaching and the mentoring as well. So these people can go onto something like this Folksy or Etsy, where they sell handmade goods, which are very good sites. You know, they can put their own little shop up, which links to that. But again, it's, as you know, it's about the marketing, isn't it, and the SMO, and getting people to find you. And I think particularly handmade goods, it's nice to know someone locally, and it's about building the community and so on. So that's a big area that I'm hoping to develop next year. And if I can get some of my books actually produced and put in my web shop, that would be fantastic, because I've got over 30 I wrote. I'm going to read a poem later on, my triple treat. And when I wrote my books, and I noticed that it's copyright 2008. That shows how long ago I wrote most of these books, and I still want them to. I want the world to have them. I want these kids to have them, and they will. It will happen. My dream is still alive, but you know, I'm just not quite sure how and when it's going to happen yet. But it's still there. But hey, lots of other good stuff is happening too, and I'm helping people personally. So what else is you know, are we about sort of going ahead again, aren't I? I sort of, hang on, I've lost the plot here. Now, we are doing the year gone by, aren't we? I'm sort of going ahead to next year, aren't I? But, so apologies for that. I get excited, I get carried away. My next bit will be shorter. So lots of networking I've been doing, mainly 4N, was leading the group at Tame. Stepped down from that about a month and a half ago, just felt it was time to put my energy into other things, and then the Link for Growth stuff is coming about, and that's really good, and I'm really getting to know people and so on. Yeah, and I'm getting my email newsletters and my database sorted out. I've got a wonderful new virtual PA, Sarah Collins. We just work really well together. She's such an asset, so that's good. And I'm actually following up and reconnecting with people. And it's lovely. People saying, "Yeah, I'd love to get your newsletter and stuff," which is nice. I'm just connecting with people again. They haven't had that contact, and you just need to do that. So if anyone's watching and they don't know about my newsletter and they want to, either contact me direct or go onto my website, and on the home page there's a little form that you can fill in, and I'll happily send you, keep you up to date. So anyways, that was the year gone by, a little bit of the road ahead as well. So apologies for that, I just got carried away, so do. So tell us, Vivek, about your road ahead, and I'll be very brief on my road ahead.
Yeah, my road ahead would be, I am likely to expand my operations, if you will, to include few people from the Google Plus circles who I met, few people who I met through Google Plus. So adding more services, making them more integrated, as you probably guessed.
Yeah. And simplified.
And yeah, social media plays a major role.
Yeah.
And technology can't just be technology. So that's my road ahead, is further expansion and
sounds good.
Doing things that I love. So yeah. So that's my year ahead. So
okay.
Yeah.
Good. Well, hopefully we'll be doing some of that stuff together, and I look forward to seeing how you're developing and you sharing some of your knowledge. And obviously, I'm hoping that with my new clients I'll get that very much keep you in mind, and I'm sure I know that you can add value to what they want to do. So that's good. Is it my turn for the road ahead?
Yeah, it is.
Have I got the Christmas box yet? Okay, pass me a piece of holly instead or something. Yeah, so I already touched on some of it. So I did get a bit ahead of myself, but I'll blame it on my mind map here. But yeah, lots of exciting things. Again, I was a networking meeting this morning. I got up at silly o'clock to get there, but I had sort of 4 possible strong follow-ups, and getting a lot of good interest in what I'm doing, and I'm really hoping that's going to translate into some really positive stuff. So yeah, long-term clients, very much the people who are dyslexic, people who are creative. They could be both dyslexic and creative, or one or the other. So the marketplace idea that I talked about. But anyone who's got an idea in their business and wants help, absolutely, that's part of what I'm about. I'm not limiting it to these people, but I think sometimes when you focus more on a particular type of person, that's good. And I find I always now talk about dyslexia when I go to networking meetings, and other stuff comes out, but it just focuses it, and it makes it more different. It makes it different, because I don't know of anybody else who's doing what I'm doing with dyslexia. And in terms of coaching, there are quite a few coaches around, some very good coaches, like both you and I been working with Baz, who's very good. But how many specialise in actually working with people who are creative? And I don't know that, and that's again another big plus. And I am creative. I am a bit mad, maybe, and I know what it's like to have that creative energy. But I'm very switched on as a business person too, and not every creative person is, or they don't necessarily want to do the business stuff. So that's really where I can come in. Yeah, carry on with 4N certainly for the time being. I've got talks booked in, and other people have been asking even today for some more talks. Link for Growth, very interested in developing that and developing connections. So ongoing coaching, tuition, and dyslexia. More ebooks are possible. We're going to look into webinars together, aren't we? So we've got something booked for the 2nd of January. Because again, whether that's something I can do online, it's a bit similar to you, sort of training videos or whatever.
I would prefer to call them as hanginar.
Hanginars, okay, all right. Well, anyway, that's exciting. So I think that's something really, that we both could offer, whether we offer it on similar subjects together or we're doing it independently, doing your IT stuff, I'm doing my dyslexia or coaching stuff, whatever. But again, huge potential there, I think. And, I'm a communicator, and I'm loving doing these videos now. So if anyone, please don't watch the first few. We read it from scripts and stuff, but I just really like it now, and like to help other people, so it goes naturally, and I do get good feedback, so hopefully it's working. Learning more about the Google Plus, so lots of exciting things there. Let's move on, because I'm sure it's time to have a cup of tea and a mince pie soon. So trick or treat, are you going first or am I going first today? I don't mind which way around.
Let me
You got a little presentation for us, haven't you?
Yeah, I have a little presentation, and what I'm...
Not that it's insignificant. Little does not mean...
or it might end up with this. Who knows? I don't know.
Hopefully not.
But anyway, let me... do a screen share and do a little presentation.
I'm looking forward to this.
Okay. This week I'm bringing you a trick or a treat, whichever way you like it, but this is Seth Godin says, and he is a thinker. He has written quite a lot of books, and I'm quoting from one of his books called as The Icarus Deception. There you see that's Seth Godin there, and I'm quoting. He says, if you use your money to make exceptional products and services, you won't need to spend it on advertising. So if your product itself is really good, then you don't need to really advertise it. That's what he says. And then this is, he goes on to distinguish between managers and leaders. He says management is almost diametrically opposed to leadership. Management is about generating yesterday's results, but a little faster or a little more cheaply. So he says that's what management is all about. You manage what is existing. You make it more cheaper. You make it do things quicker, faster. So you won't be a leader when you do that. Leadership, though, as he says, leadership, though, is a whole other game. Leadership puts the leader on the line. No manual, no rule book, no Uber leader to point the finger at when things go wrong. So, yeah, as he says, as a leader, when things go wrong, you are the one to be blamed. So that's a leader. If you are, and here's the kicker, if you will. If you ask someone for the rule book on how to lead, you are secretly wishing to be a manager. So don't ask for the rule book because you have to lead. So yeah, this is my treat for Christmas, New Year, whichever way you want to take it. And these posters that you see here have been made using a website called as recite.com. So it's very easy to create all these posters and so on, but of course I am using that as an image within PowerPoint. So you see my logo there, and I'm able to put Seth Godin's picture there and so on. So there it is. I'm giving the blue box back to you, Corinna, and give us a treat.
Yes, well, I found that very inspiring, I have to say. I'm definitely a leader, not a manager, reading that. I'm going to watch some of his YouTube stuff later, because you mentioned him yesterday, and I think what he's saying is very much in tune with my passion about bringing creative approach to business and you know, creating exceptional products and services. I think we're both aspiring to that, and hopefully we're well on the way to doing that if we haven't already. So really good stuff. Yes, I've just got, it's going to be quick in comparison. I've got a poem that I wrote back in 2008, and I believe you're going to put a picture up. Have you got the picture up for that?
Yeah, I had it, and then suddenly it vanished, and I'm
You're looking for it. Okay.
Looking for it. Okay.
I mean, I can read the poem without the picture. But obviously, if you can find it, it's useful. I'll talk a little bit while you're doing that.
You need the picture.
It would be nice to have the picture, because again, back to the picture's superiority effect, you know, where you have the words and the picture together. There we are. So this was done. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so this is a picture that a friend did for me, and I wrote the poem. I think I can't try and remember which way around. I think I gave him the poem, and then he did the picture. So it is a kiddie's poem, so you just got to be a kid for a bit, but it is nearly Christmas. So the idea is, I mean, I won't be using this picture in the book. If I do include this in one of the books, it will be poems with pictures that go with it, and also probably some activities to go alongside it. So that's sort of fairly substantial. So maybe, hopefully this time next year, I'll be saying, got the Christmas books out and they're selling really well. So, you know, they're going to happen one day. We just don't know when, but they're going to happen one day. But anyway, so it's fairly short, but just sit, and if you want to sit, don't close your eyes, just look at the picture, but let your imagination go. Just be a kid for a little while.
I was hoping you would sing it, but anyway.
No, it wasn't written for singing. I'm doing my singing. I have to rest my voice because I've got a rehearsal later, and I'm singing a concert tomorrow night. So I have to rest my voice, dear.
Okay, go on.
Okay, so here it goes then. Look at Santa and his elves, busy stacking all the shelves. They've been toiling all year through to make some toys for me and you. Hard at work all day and night to help that day be fun and bright. Look around, what do you see? All kinds of toys for you and me. What is it that you want most? A cuddly dog or a scary ghost? Outside it's begun to snow. Pack the sleigh, it's time to go. That's me, and I wrote that in 2008. So I hope people enjoyed that. I just a bit. That's how Dancing Kites actually started. Just share a little bit. Dancing Kites came about really because I had this idea, long story short, but I'll maybe share it another time, to write a book of poems for dyslexic children and start targeting that market. And so poems with pictures and activities. And I just had a complete outpouring of creativity. That's when my creativity really started in earnest, and I've written, I don't know, hundreds of poems. And I've got enough for over 30 books, I reckon. Poetry based with activities. I've also got some short stories, short series, which, but bearing in mind they're for dyslexic children, they're not like a Harry Potter where you've got lots and lots of words. And some of the books I've already trialed and published, and the testimonials I get are that they're good, because a child who doesn't want to read many words can get a story, a really vivid imagination, a really good story very quickly, and then they're off. You know, they're floating in the sky in a bubble and going off. That's my Through the Magic Window one. But you know, but we could all do with a bit of imagination. Let's face it. Those who say we don't, we look at adverts where there's imagination. You know, we go to the cinema. You know, we listen to music. So we do. We also tap into it. And as you know, Vivek, I've talked about this, you know, with the coaching side of stuff, actually, the imagination is really powerful. And, you know, Baz has probably talked to both of us about that, and about imagining the future that you want and actually getting that. It's a really powerful tool. It's not based on self-deception. As long as it's based on reality and who you are and what you're really about, then it's really good. So that's sort of additional to that. But this is, you know, very much I've got this passion to inspire these children in the world of words and imagination. So hopefully next year there might be a bit more of that, so along with everything else. So anyway, I think it's almost time to wrap up now. I think we've done our treats for today, haven't we? And we've looked back at the year and we've looked a bit ahead. So it's all been good stuff. So well, I'm going to sign off soon, sort of, you know, for the rest of the year probably. So you know, may have exchanged the odd email, but I'm effectively going to down tools for a good week and a bit. So I'll probably be on Google Plus and be on, you know, social media, but so take my work hat off a little bit. So I'm Corinna Shepherd from Dancing Kites Creative Learning, and I'm passionate about unlocking your potential through creativity and interactive learning.
It's Vivek Baindoor signing off. Remember, integrated, we live. Thank you.
Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas and a New Year.
And a Happy New Year. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.